Please, please. You people are too kind. Thank you. Thank you. What's going on, guys? Cameron here with Canadian Gamer. And just a few things I want to talk about today. Before we get into that, did anybody watch that Scott the Woz video today? Good Lord. Really, Rick? That's what you want us to watch? Anyways, moving right along here. Glass of wine. Bust out the good glasses. So the topic today, trying to keep things upbeat. No, actually, one more thing I want to mention before we get started on today's video. Those of you who may not be aware, one of our good friends in the community, Lawrence, aka Larry Dagstein, he lives right in the belly of the beast there, up near Manhattan, New York. And I don't think he's doing too well. He's sick right now. He did finally go to the hospital to get checked out and tested for COVID-19. So, again, hopefully he does not have the virus. Our thoughts are with you at this time, Larry. And I did put this out for him because I know once he sees this, he'll know exactly what it is. He's a big fan of the band New Order, and that was one of their first singles to come out in the 80s. Those of you who aren't familiar with New Order, basically the original band Joy Division, the lead singer Ian Curtis committed suicide tragically, and then the rest of the band formed New Order, and one of their biggest songs was the song Blue Monday. So a great band. So we'll get started on today's video. And like I said, it's a bit of a lighthearted theme. And what I want to talk about today is, if you were trapped on a deserted island and you were on this island for God knows how long, what game, if you could only bring one game with you, what game would you bring with you to this deserted island? Now, this was actually pretty difficult. I had to kind of be strategic about this because at first, I'm like, oh yeah, of course, I'll bring Out of This World. That's my favorite game, blah, blah, blah. But then you have to kind of step back and take a look at it. If you're on a deserted island, you need a game that's going to keep you preoccupied, that has exceptional replay value. So it was really kind of difficult for me to go through my collection and try to pinpoint, what game I would bring with me. So I've chosen 5, so I've got about 4 honorable mentions, and then I'll get into the top game after we go through the honorable mentions. So without further ado, the first game I chose here was Oblivion. It was a toss-up between Oblivion and Skyrim. I chose Oblivion because I prefer it over Skyrim. Again, almost endless replay value on this game, and I'm sure if I was on a deserted island, this could probably keep me busy for probably a couple of years, let's be honest. Right, Cujo? So Oblivion had to be on the list. Again, this is very difficult. Any of these could have made the top bill for the number 1 pick. The next one might surprise some of you. Although I'm not the biggest advocate of this game, it's probably the weakest in the series. I chose Fallout 4. And the reason why I chose Fallout 4 is because I do specifically remember really enjoying the base building mechanics in this game. And I think if I had this game and I had endless amounts of time, kind of like we do right now in the midst of this whole outbreak, I would probably devote a lot of time to building a base, building my fortress. And I think that would be really cool. That was, in my opinion, one of the stronger attributes of this game. And what kind of frustrated me about it, at least from my own personal experience, I know I built a pretty decent little fortress, and then it started to become under attack, and then I'd walk away from it to do stuff in the open world, and then your base would be under attack again. It was just like, oh man. But yeah, no, I think Fallout 4 would be the one to bring with me on the deserted island, so that is an honorable mention as well. And the next one I chose was Myst 3 Exile. I'm having a real hard time trying to get through this without a walkthrough. It's a very difficult game. And I think if I was sitting on a deserted island in the hot sun with the ocean in front of me and this game, I think I could just sit there and even if I still can't get through it, just become completely immersed in this game and try to figure out all the puzzles and sit there and just use my brain and pick away at it and not feel rushed or under the gun to try to blow through the game. So I think Myst 3, which is from what I played of it, it's a fantastic game, even though it wasn't developed by Cyan. I think Cyan worked very closely on Myst Exile and Revelations with Ubisoft. So yeah, Myst 3 is definitely on the list. And this is down to the last two. This is pretty difficult. So I think what I'll do here for number 2, we'll go with Red Dead Redemption 2. The open world in this game is absolutely beautiful. I know myself, it's almost picturesque playing this. I've gotten off my horse before and just stood there staring at the scenery just to take in all the glorious detail that Rockstar took the time to put into this game. So I think if you were on a deserted island, yeah, maybe the actual missions wouldn't last very long. You'd blow through that, kind of like Dreamcast guy. But to be able to just explore the open world, I think even myself, it took me 6 months to beat this game. And that was just kind of going mission to mission. I think there's a lot of other stuff in this open world that I have not tapped into, and I would very much like to revisit this again. I think this would be an excellent game if I was on a deserted island. Now the last one here, this one might surprise some of you with the exception of Turbo Joe, but I've been playing this one the last couple of nights, and this has absolute endless replay value if you're into this type of game. And that would be Forza Motorsport 4, arguably the best of the series. There is just so much to do in this. There's like over 600 cars in this game. There is just, like I said, you could spend countless hours tinkering around with your car. I guess you could almost put, one of the Gran Turismo games on this list as well, but I chose to go with Forza 4. This, again, endless replay value. I don't think I would really get bored of this. I could probably return to this game again and again and again, and there's always stuff to do. It's always evolving. I played this for 3 hours last night, and those 3 hours just went by like that. So just a fantastic game. How are we doing for time? 8-minute mark. So let me know in the comments below, if you guys could only bring one game with you to a deserted island, what would it be? I know I omitted basically anything Nintendo related on here. I do apologize. I don't have a lot of Nintendo products aside from the Game Boy and the Nintendo Wii U. But for sure, anything goes. Hell, I didn't really get too far into Breath of the Wild, and I know it's not everybody's cup of tea, but maybe that would be a game that would be deserted island material to be able to finally try to work my way through that game and see it to the end. So so that's gonna do it, guys. I really appreciate your time. I hope you're all well and safe. Thanks again for watching another video, guys. Until next time, take care.